When it comes to car safety, the small overlap crash test is like the ultimate trust fall with a tree. Imagine your vehicle smacking just its front corner into something solid at 40 miles per hour. It's not just a bump, it's a brutal honesty check for your car's bones. While the moderate overlap and full frontal test politely tap the front end, this one goes straight for the jugular, or, well, the fender. Introduced by the IIHS over a decade ago, it quickly revealed that many cars had the structural integrity of a wet cardboard box. Some automakers cleaned up their act, but others are still flunking this safety test like it's high school algebra. Ford Expedition. The Ford Expedition was one of the worst performers in recent evaluations, failing the small overlap test in a dramatic fashion. Both the driver and passenger sides of the SUV experienced catastrophic structural collapse. The A-pillars, which support the roof on either side of the windshield, became completely detached from the vehicle's main frame, an alarming indication of compromised integrity. With over 50 centimeters of intrusion recorded on both sides, the Expedition offers minimal protection for occupants. In a real-world crash scenario, this level of deformation would leave very little survival space inside the cabin. The crash dummy results were equally concerning. The simulated driver showed a high risk of injury to the right leg and a moderate risk to the left. Even worse, the dummy slipped off the airbag entirely, exposing its head to potential impact with intruding vehicle components. This failure paints a frightening picture for anyone inside an Expedition during a similar collision. Toyota, Dodge, Mitsubishi, and more. Several other models also turned in poor performances. The Toyota Grand Highlander, despite being a relatively new vehicle, showed up to 10 centimeters of intrusion in the upper compartment, more than most of Toyota's other modern vehicles. The crash dummy's head rolled off the airbag, putting it at risk of hitting a solid object like the vehicle frame or dashboard. The Dodge Durango exhibited even worse metrics, with 30 centimeters of intrusion in the lower compartment and 21 centimeters in the upper. The crash dummy's head again rolled off the airbag, and the side curtain airbag failed to extend far enough forward to offer protection. Injury risk to the left leg and foot was significantly high. Then there's the Mitsubishi Mirage, which suffered from poor lower compartment integrity, 26 centimeters of intrusion, and upper structure, 19 centimeters. The dummy's seatbelt failed to properly restrain forward motion, and the airbag failed to keep the head protected, increasing the chances of a serious head injury. Even the iconic Ford Mustang couldn't escape criticism, with structural intrusion reaching 17 centimeters in the lower and 16 centimeters in the upper areas. Like others, the dummy slid off the airbag, and the seatbelt failed to prevent forward momentum, once again compromising head safety. Why this test matters? You might be thinking, do these crash test numbers really mean anything when I'm just driving to work or grabbing groceries? Oh, absolutely, because when life throws a curveball, or a tree, or a distracted SUV, those test scores suddenly become the difference between a bruise and a tragedy. According to a 2023 IIHS study, drivers in vehicles with top scores in the small overlap crash test are 12% less likely to die in a frontal crash compared to those riding in the automotive equivalent of a paper bag. That's not just a number, it's a life-saving margin. These aren't hypothetical lab scenarios. They're simulations of real-world chaos where every centimeter of intrusion counts. Think of this test as the gladiator arena of car safety. Either your car holds the line, or it crumbles under pressure. Automakers who flunk this challenge aren't just losing points, they're playing with people's lives. So next time you shop for a car, don't just ask about horsepower, ask how well it protects you when everything goes wrong. Because when it comes to crashes, safety ratings aren't just nerdy stats, they're your survival odds. Chevy, Mitsubishi, Acura, and more. Let's continue exploring underperformers. The Chevy Tahoe showed 32 centimeters of intrusion on the passenger side lower compartment and 18 centimeters in the upper section. This posed a high injury risk to the passenger's right foot and a moderate risk to the left leg. Interestingly, the driver's side performed significantly better, suggesting that General Motors has only reinforced one side of the SUV, leaving passengers more vulnerable. The Mitsubishi Outlander Sport recorded 15 centimeters of intrusion in the lower and 13 centimeters in the upper compartment. The airbag didn't adequately protect the dummy's head, which made contact with hard interior trim, leaving a clear paint mark indicating the impact. The Acura ZDX, sharing its platform with the Honda Prologue, struggled with the same problem, airbag misalignment. The passenger dummy largely missed the front airbag and instead slipped into the gap between the front and curtain airbags. That exposed the dummy's head to dangerous impact zones such as windowsills or A-pillars. Silverado, Ridgeline, and more. The Chevy Silverado may look like a tough, road-dominating beast, but in the small overlap crash test, it folded like a cheap lawn chair at a barbecue. With a jaw-dropping 30 centimeters of intrusion in the lower compartment and 20 centimeters in the upper, the passenger dummy's legs were practically part of the dashboard decor. High risk on the right, moderate on the left. Not to be outdone, the Honda Ridgeline had its own awkward moment when the dummy's head slid right off the airbag and smacked the dash like it was trying to take a nap mid-crash. High injury readings in the knee area confirmed this was no gentle bump. These aren't just dents and dings, they're wake-up calls. Turns out all that muscle on the outside doesn't mean much if the inside crumples like tissue paper. Big trucks may talk tough, but without solid safety bones and smart restraint systems, they're just shiny hazards. It's proof that brawn without brains, or in this case engineering, can land you in real trouble. Manufacturer run tests. Two other vehicles, Volkswagen Taos and Nissan Titan Crew Cab, were tested by manufacturers themselves, so video footage is unavailable. But even so, their reported results are worrying. The Volkswagen Taos, first released in 2022, demonstrated up to 15 centimeters of intrusion on both the upper and lower passenger side compartments. Given its recent design, this lackluster result is especially disappointing. The Nissan Titan Crew Cab fared even worse, with up to 33 centimeters of intrusion in the lower area and 16 centimeters in the upper. These figures highlight serious structural flaws that could place passengers at grave risk in a crash. While manufacturer-run tests are often under scrutiny for transparency, the metrics alone show that these models still have a long way to go to meet modern safety expectations. Bright spots in the gloom. Amid all the crumpled metal and airbag fails, there are a few heroes quietly flexing their crash test muscles. Take the Honda Prologue, for example. While it had a minor oops with the airbag, its cabin stayed tougher than your grandma's fruitcake at Christmas. The best performers in this gladiator arena of safety tests come armored with rock-solid A-pillars, steel-reinforced skeletons, and airbags that know exactly when to puff up like they mean it. Their seatbelts aren't just straps, they're energy-managing ninjas keeping you from face-planting the dashboard. And those side curtain airbags, they reach out like a caring friend, shielding your head from harm. These vehicles aren't just safe, they're smart, stylish bodyguards in a crash. It's like driving around with a personal pit crew of engineers and crash test dummies cheering you on. When you choose one of these models, you're not just buying a car, you're buying peace of mind on 4 wheels. And that's the kind of upgrade we can all get behind. If you found this crash course in car safety eye-opening, or just enjoyed watching vehicles fail gloriously under pressure, hit that like button. Want more brutally honest car reviews and safety deep dives? Smash subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of truth on 4 wheels. Drive smart, watch smarter.